Hare Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for coming today to this conventional Sunday feast. Today was actually planned His Grace Hari Krishna Prabhu, who would give a lecture, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, but unfortunately he could not come. So we have looked how we could replace find a replacement. And we will show a video of Srila Prabhupada with a few lectures of him. But before we do that, let's first sing Jai Radha. So when we were confronted with this sudden change in the lecturer, I was wondering what could we talk about, what could we get Srila Prabhupada hear from him. And since perhaps you are aware of it, next month, the 1st of December, the Srila Prabhupada Book Marathon month will start. And so I thought maybe it's a good idea to talk a little bit about book distribution within ISKCON. As you know, in the December month, the devotees of ISKCON go on the streets and distributes books with more enthusiasm, they try to increase the distribution of the books. I mean, we always go on streets, of course, to distribute the knowledge of Srila Prabhupada. But in this month, we notice that people are more, receiving. They receive better because they are already in a festive mood, so they are willing to buy more books from us. Now, why are we actually doing this distributing of books? Srila Prabhupada once gave the comparison, the example of the temples. He compared the temples with barracks where soldiers live, and that from these centers, these temples, these barracks, we are sending our soldiers, the devotees, out on the streets to distribute the knowledge of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada often stressed that book distribution is one of the most important activities within ISKCON. And that actually all the activities that we do within ISKCON eventually lead to this, eventually are meant to focus on book distribution. That doesn't mean that other services are not important. Just like in an army, when we have the soldiers that are in the front, so they are bombing the bombs on the people, and we are doing that with books, the books of Srila Prabhupada. We are fighting Maya with those books. But every army also needs some support. And there are people in the back who are doing services. Like here we have cooks that are cooking nice prasadam, so that the devotees that come back from either Harinam or book distribution, they are all hungry, so they can eat and make their body healthy again. We have pujaris doing services on the altar. So this all comes together because our movement is not a temple movement, it's a Sankirtan movement. We are a preaching movement. We should go outside to preach this mission, this philosophy that Srila Prabhupada brought. And why are we doing that? Why was Srila Prabhupada why stressed he so much this distribution of books? Out of mercy, because most of the people out on the streets, they are, it's maybe a little bit not respectful to say, but they are ignorant of their own situation. People are searching, people are suffering, and we want to help them to get out of that, to get out of this whole entanglement of the material world. Is someone here for the first time? Yeah. Yes, you of course, yes. So, actually, according to our scriptures, we say that we are here now in the material world, but outside that is the spiritual world. Actually, the other way around. You have the spiritual world, and a really small part of that is the material world.
1/3.
Sorry?
1/3.
Yes, 1/3. I think not even smaller than that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And why are we here? Because in the spiritual world where we actually are from, the only one that is enjoying is Krishna. Everyone is done for Krishna's enjoyment. But at some point of time we didn't want it anymore, we wanted to enjoy ourselves. So that is not possible in the spiritual world. So Krishna said, okay, you can do that. I will create that, a material world, which is actually a prison house, or a correction house, you could say. If we have criminals here, we send them to jail, also to punish them, but also to make them to learn, to come back to the society. And that's the same thing we are doing. We are now here to learn to go back to the spiritual world. But people will not do that out of themselves. That's why Krishna himself, he comes either by himself or in an incarnation, and he sends his scriptures, his books. Srila Prabhupada actually spent lots of effort to translate his books. I mean, he was just sleeping 2 hours a day. He woke up at 1 o'clock or something, 1:30 in the evening, because it was the most peaceful time that he could do his translation work. And then he very minutely, very carefully, he was weighing every word that he translated, because he knew that his books would be the standards for humanity for at least 10,000 of years. So it was a very responsible job, and he took really the time for it. And if you see what he all translated in just a very short time frame, it's really impressive. And after he translated for maybe 2, 3, 4 hours, he maybe took a nap of 20 minutes, and then his daily schedule began. It was not that he went to sleep for hours again. No, he had his devotees to talk with, his temple presidents, other people who were important or not important. He was giving lectures, morning walks. So very impressive that he did this. And he said, yes, I translated all these books, I gave you everything, and now it is your turn to distribute this further, because we want all people to get this knowledge. So there's a book, it's called The Nectar of Book Distribution, the DBT, and it has some, it's actually like a guideline for book distribution, because book distribution is not simple. Going out on the street he's sitting in a temple is good. I'm not saying anything against temple programs. It's very good that we are doing this, but it is easy. To go out and fight with Maya is a little bit more difficult. So you know that we sometimes go on the streets to Harinam, to sing the names of the Lord on the streets. And the first time that I went on the streets, I was first time wearing dhoti and everything, and I felt so embarrassed. I mean, to walk there on the streets and to do this, but at some point of time we get used to it, and now it's not a problem for me. So now the next step is to also do this book distribution thing. So I will just go quickly before we start the video to the first chapter of this book, because it has some nice things. And to start with Sikshastakam, the fifth verse of it. Sikshastakam is the other praise that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is an incarnation of Lord Krishna himself, or no, it's not the incarnation, he is Krishna himself, but in the form of a devotee, because he wanted to show us how to live the life of a devotee, how to become a devotee of Krishna. And you saw also the way he was doing that. He didn't establish temples or deity worship. He was just going out on the streets, chanting the holy name, and that is where we got this Harinam from. And sometimes, when we announce Harinam, I get questions like, what is this Harinam? What are you doing exactly? And then to explain this to other people, that we are going on the streets, we are singing and chanting, it's really wonderful to see how they are surprised that we are doing that. And also the reaction from the public, actually, very nice. Some people are, of course, a little bit laughing or thinking like that, but most people, you can see that they really enjoy the Harinam. So the Sikshastakam, fifth verse, I read only translation. O son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. So in this verse, Lord Chaitanya actually hints at the real purpose of the material world. It is just, like I already said, it's created to give the fallen souls, we all, a chance to go back to home, this place to reform. And that's why just Lord Krishna descends and sends his scriptures. So actually, Lord Chaitanya introduced the Yuga Dharma. So what is the Yuga Dharma? Yes, Harinam. So Harinam, the Sankirtan, that is, it's not only for this time. I mean, the Mahamantras already existed for a longer time. We divide our time in 4 yugas. We are now in the last one, the Kali Yuga. But there were other yugas also, where people were more pious, more religious. And there were, for every time frame, there is another, let's say, method of how to go back to Godhead. But it doesn't mean that the Sankirtan, the Harinam, the chanting of the holy name, but which is the recommended method for this yuga, didn't exist in the other yugas. I mean, people have always been chanting the names of Krishna. So, actually, our program, sometimes people think we are very difficult with all kinds of rules and standards and regulations, but actually it's not the case. Our program is really simple. Chant, dance and eat prasadam. That's it. Where else do you find such an movement? Let me see, what's something else I want to share with you? Yes, like I said, indeed, Sankirtan is a special concession for Kali Yuga, and there are no hard and fast rules. Everyone can chant. We are devotees, we are not musicians. It doesn't matter if you have a nice sounding voice, or you can expertly play mridanga or whatever instrument. Doesn't matter. I heard that the guru of Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, from Sankirtan outside, sometimes he put someone who was less qualified, less good in playing mridanga in the front. Because he said people should not be attracted by the nice voice or the nice playing music instrument or the nice playing mridanga. They should be focused, they should be attracted by the Mahamantra. And the Mahamantra at its own is already potent enough to attract people. As long as it is sung by devotion, that is the important thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a nice voice and being nice in instruments, but if the devotion part is lacking, then it won't have any effect. And that's why, and Srila Prabhupada, if you saw how he did kirtans, it was actually very simple. It was only the Mahamantra. He didn't, nowadays, nothing wrong with it, but nowadays we are seeing also other things in between. But that is not from Srila Prabhupada's time. In his kirtans you hear only the Mahamantra. And at some point of time, when the devotees, he saw that devotees wanted another mantra, they were singing their own mantras that they got from India or from wherever. And then he said, okay, you want another mantra? Here, I give you one other mantra you can also sing. And that is Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Asadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Nowadays we sing that in front of the Mahamantra. It's chant 3 times the Shri Krishna Chaitanya and then after that the Mahamantra. But then it is potent. Because this whole process has been brought by the most merciful incarnation of the Lord, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And even if we make mistakes by accident, I mean, it's not that we should make mistakes, we should be very careful, but even if we make mistakes, they will forgive us. There was something else I wanted to share with you. Yes. I want to read something from lecture of Srila Prabhupada about the Brihat Mridanga. Does anyone know what Brihat Mridanga means? Yeah, almost. So we have here the Mridanga, and the Brihat Mridanga is the better Mridanga, which is book distribution. Yeah, it's close to Sankirtan, so it's the same thing. Without literature, how can we enlighten the people at large? My Guru Maharaj used to say that the printing press is the Brihat Mridanga. Brihat means bigger, at large, bigger Mridanga. Just like we are playing Mridanga. This Mridanga can be vibrated in the neighboring quarter. But our Mridanga, Back to Godhead was the magazine that Srila Prabhupada distributed. That will go far, far away. So therefore this press was considered by my Guru Maharaj as Brihat Mridanga. So this press propaganda, this literary propaganda is required because Krishna consciousness is not sentiment. That's very important, not sentiment. It is not that some sentimental people have gathered here and are dancing and chanting. No. There is a background. There is philosophical background. There is theological understanding. And then, I mean, it's very difficult to make the distinction between when is something sentimental and when is something really coming from the heart, really love of Krishna. I mean, if you come for the first time here, you cannot expect that immediately you will be on the level of pure love of Godhead. I mean, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita also describes the stairs, that different steps you can take, or you can take to reach Him, and He's on the top. And Lord Chaitanya was merciful because, like Arjuna also said, I mean, it's very difficult to all those things that are written in the Bhagavad Gita, all those steps. And He built an elevator next to that. And that elevator is what? The Mahamantra. By chanting the Mahamantra, you just get all the benefits that you otherwise could get from all the other tapasyas, offerings, whatever. And so, let's see. To start quickly with the video, but there was something else. Oh yeah. The necessity of going to the people. It's also from a lecture from Srila Prabhupada. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Anadi Bahir Mukha Jivasvata Krishna Nahi Jnana. We are so foolish, influenced by the material energy, that automatically we cannot understand Krishna. Therefore, Krishna conscious propaganda is required. Not that automatically they will come to Krishna consciousness. There is need of spreading. If you are actually benevolent to your countrymen, to your society, to human society, you must spread and preach this Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, they are going away, carried away by the influence of Maya. Therefore, the most valuable, important welfare activity is to spread this Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. And it is like this, I mean, if you go on Harinam, you see a lot of people singing and dancing with us. You would expect that the next day in the temple it would be filled with all kinds of people that would come. But that's not the case. I mean, we see hardly those people on the streets coming to the temple. But if you give them a book, it might be that they are not reading it immediately, but they will keep it in their house. And who knows, at some point of time, they might read the book and things might start with them. It might be start of their spiritual life. Actually, that's the last thing I will read from the book. There was an example, you see, of this. Yes, examples. So example of a devotee that got a book. A devotee who passed away recently, Kalpataru Das, from Guatemala, distributed books for many years. Here's the story of how he joined. He became disinterested in material life and went to Ecuador to live in the Andes. He built a cabin far away from trails and people, and he ate berries and leaves like a yogi for almost a year. Meanwhile, one hiker going to Ecuador, to the Miami airport, got a Krishna book. And by Krishna's arrangement, he started climbing where Kalpataru was living and discovered him there in the wilderness. So they became friends. When the hiker left, he wanted to leave a present, so he left the Krishna book with Kalpataru, who read the book and came down the mountain and looked for a temple to join. So you see how Krishna can work. I mean, if you give a book to someone, like I said, he might not read it immediately, or he might give it away. Yeah? I mean, you know maybe the story of Vaisheshika Prabhu. He wrote in his book, The Family Business, or something like that. That one of his he was in college, he was living in a dormitory, and one of his college friends got a book, or no, the magazine Back to Godhead, but he was not interested in it at all. But he knew that Vaisheshika Prabhu that was not his name at that time, of course, but was interested in this kind of spiritual things. So he just pushed it down under his door and said, this might be of interest of you, and it was. And so that's the way how things started. So never underestimate the value of the books. You never know what it might get us actually. Wherever book distribution is going on profusely, other services will come, other services will go on, everything will go well. And where book distribution is not so profusely going on, you see that services are a little bit declining and things are not so well. So we will much short move to Srila Prabhupada. Let them know a commercial first. Yeah. No, yeah.
So we have to simply take instruction from Guru, and if we execute that to our heart and soul, that is success. That is practical. I have no personal qualification, but I simply try to satisfy my Guru. That's all. My Guru Maharaj asked me that if you get some money, you print books. So, there was a private meeting talking, some of our money important. In God Brothers also there, it was in Radha Kunda. So, Guru Maharaj was speaking to me that since we have got this Bhagavaja and Marble Temple, there has been so many dissensions. And everyone is thinking we occupy this room or that room, that room. I wish therefore to sell this temple and the marble and bring some book. Yeah. So I took up this promise now that he is very fond of books, and he told me personally that if you get some money, print books. Therefore I am stressing on this point. Where is book? Where is book? Where is book? So kindly help me. This is my request. Print as many books in as many languages and distribute throughout the whole world. Then Krishna consciousness movement will automatically increase. Everyone is engaged to rise early in the morning for offering aratri to the deity. They are preparing nice food, they are decorating, making garland, so many engagements. They are going for some kirtan party, they are canvassing or selling wood. 24 hours engagement. Therefore they are able to give up the sinful life. This kind of objection are always made when the atheists are like Jesus Christ was crucified. So this is a material world. You'll find always such nuisance class of men.
It must cost you a lot of money to go travelling around the world all the time.
Yes, we have got our 102 branches all over the world.
Where do you get the money?
Get money from God. We especially get money by selling our books. You have seen our books?
If you can't charge...
We are selling, according to Indian exchange, we are selling about 25 to 30,000 rupees worth books daily. We can spend all the money of the world. Unfortunately, do not give us it.
So for the time being, the money will not be used for the construction in Mayapur. It will be used to print books.
Mahaprabhu, they have already taken 1 lakh from me.
Now Gopal Krishna in India requested that BBT give him a loan of $160,000. In India, just this during the Mayapur festival, he requested a loan from the US BBT for $160,000, which would be used to construct the second residence building.
So how will go back?
His plan was that the American temples would purchase rooms, and over a period of 4 or 5 years, they would pay that money back. So is that still approved by your divine grace?
Yes, absolutely.
The only thing is that we will have to delay the loan, because for the next 3 months, all our money will be used to print these 17 books.
Customary books, then glory. However, we cannot hold up printing, that is not possible. This you must always keep in view. We are not going to, the surplus money we are going to do. Not that at the cost of stopping printing. You must always keep it. When you require money for printing, there is no question of loan. This will be our Parava
I was wandering in the street and some of the boys saw me and gradually they came to me. And actually I did not try anything for developing this institution. The boys did it. Most of my students, they were unexpected and disadvantaged, but they did not have it.
Take all the Chandra Kirtan.
There was a caricature picture in some paper, perhaps you remember, from Montreal, or here I don't remember. One old lady and her husband sitting face to face. The lady is requesting the husband, chant, chant, chant. And the husband is answering, can't, can't. What is going on? We are requesting everyone, please chant, chant, chant. And they are replying, can't, can't. This is their misfortune. This is their misfortune. So still, it is our duty to make all these misfortunate, unfortunate creatures fortunate. That is our mission. We therefore go in the street and chant. Although they say can't, we go on chanting. That is our business. And somehow or other, we push on some literature in his hand. He is becoming fortunate. He would have squandered his hard-earned money in so many nasty, sinful ways, and if he purchases one book, never mind what is the price, his money is properly utilized. The beginning of Krishna consciousness is there because he is giving some money, hard-earned money, for this Krishna consciousness movement. He is getting some spiritual profit. He is not losing, he is getting some spiritual profit. Therefore, our business is somehow
influence in devotional service, we get a different nature. And if we engage in the basis of sense gratification, the result is different.
And then the karma is that they also love deity.
Yeah. And according to the association of different nature, we get a body. Karanam Gunasammasya Sabasat Dhammayam. Therefore, we should always seek good association, devotee association. Then on life will be successful.
So, the second video is a little bit shorter. It's about how Srila Prabhupada started this movement. I'm sorry for the commercial break.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
5,000 years ago in India, many saints and sages gathered on the banks of the sacred river Ganges. They came from throughout the world to witness the last 7 days in the life of the great devotee, King Parikshit. The king had renounced his fabulous wealth to dedicate his few remaining days to spiritual enlightenment. At that meeting, Sukadeva Goswami, the most exalted sage in the assembly, narrated the pastimes and teachings of Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He discussed all aspects of knowledge, from the creation of the material universe to the culture of spiritual life, and held the king and sages in rapt attention. Through the ages, these teachings about Lord Sri Krishna were transmitted intact from spiritual master to disciple. Sripad Madhvacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Goswamis of Vrindavan, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, and in the early 20th century, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who ordered his disciples to preach Krishna consciousness around the world. He especially desired to distribute Krishna-conscious literature in the Western countries. His disciple, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, took this order as his very life.
In 1944, he single-handedly begins publishing and distributing Back to Godhead, a fortnightly. The first issue addresses the crisis of war. The Second World War within 20 years is scourging the earth. Back to Godhead points out that people throughout the world want an end to war. But so often they want God's kingdom without God, and they cannot have it. All our plans will be doomed to failure by our own selfishness unless we turn to God. Following tradition, at age 58, Aboy Charan retires from family life, and 5 years later accepts the renounced order. He is now known as A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. He lives alone in the historic medieval temple of Radha Damodar in Vrindavan, engaged in deep studies and writing. Unlike other holy men who live there, Bhaktivedanta Swami is not thinking of retiring. For him, Vrindavan is a source of inspiration, an ideal place to chant, worship, and write. Here he begins work on his life's masterpiece, translation and commentary on the monumental devotional classic Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhaktivedanta Swami calls it a cultural presentation for the re-spiritualization of the entire human society. But often he leaves Vrindavan to print his magazine and books in nearby Delhi. Traveling takes time and confidence, but Bhaktivedanta Swami accepts it as part of his spiritual mission to broadcast devotional service to Lord Krishna. In Delhi, Bhaktivedanta Swami personally distributes copies of Back to Godhead, and with small donations, struggles to maintain the publication. He regularly sees Surendra Kumar Jain, a printer.
It was somewhere in the month of February 1956 that I first met Prabhupada. He came to my press for getting the magazine printed, Back to Godhead. I found that it was not very easy for him to collect money. He would come to the press practically every day, and after the printing was done, he would do everything himself. But he was a dedicated person, a very committed person. And at the times when he was not in a position to pay the bills, I would ask him, why are you running this? Why don't you stop it? He would say, no, it is my mission. And one day, Surendra Kumar, you will see that I will succeed in my mission.
By 1964, Bhaktivedanta Swami completes 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri lauds his accomplishment and recommends his books for placement in India's public libraries. Wherever Srila Prabhupada is, he continues to write prolifically. Rising long before dawn, he spends hours translating and commenting on original Sanskrit and Bengali texts.
Sometimes they wash their hands and feet before entering the temple.
His most significant contribution is his books. Professors from dozens of major universities use them as standard texts and write appreciative reviews.
The narrations concerning the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, are the oldest writings known to man. Over generations, they have influenced civilizations in both the East and the West. Now, under Srila Prabhupada's guidance, the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust has become the world's largest publisher and distributor of these spiritual classics. Srila Prabhupada himself is the author of all of the books. He has been acclaimed as the world's most distinguished scholar and teacher of Vedic philosophy and culture. While translating each Sanskrit verse, he refers to books of commentary by previous spiritual masters, and then gives a thorough explanation of the text.
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives in this connection a description of the difference of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and ordinary living being. So this is the difference of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and ordinary living being. This has been described in the previous verse. Sarvam Kumana Vida Gunan Sukat Jan Namida Sarvagam Manantamide. The purport is that Supreme God, He is omnipotent, omniscient. He knows everything. But the living being does not know actually what is the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the difference between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and ordinary living being.
He also did a very important work in introducing to the Western world for the first time the devotional philosophy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Not only did he introduce these texts, but he introduced them in a way that was It is quite different from the other translations that had been made. I've read so many different translations, for example, the Bhagavad Gita, which had all been interpreted from the personalist type of philosophy of the Advaita school. And here, you might say, for the first time, is a truly devotional translation, a spiritual translation of the text, which I felt really came much closer to the true meaning and the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita.
Established in 1972, the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust exclusively publishes Srila Prabhupada's works. It becomes the world's largest distributor of books in the field of Indian religion and philosophy. For Srila Prabhupada, the transcendental knowledge in these books forms the basis of the Hare Krishna movement. Then in October, Srila Prabhupada returns to his old home, Vrindavan, to spend his final days. Even though he is physically incapacitated, Srila Prabhupada's intellect remains clear. He continues dictating translations and comments on his life's work, Srimad Bhagavatam, until days before he departs from this world.
This consciousness is
So we have to simply take instruction from Guru, and if we execute that to our heart and soul, that is success. That is practical. I have no personal qualification, but I simply try to satisfy my Guru. That's all. My Guru Maharaj asked me that if you get some money, you print books. So, there was a private meeting talking, some of my important God brothers also there, it was in Radhakunda. So, Guru Maharaj was speaking to me that since we have got this Bhagavajar and Marble Temple, there has been so many dissensions. And everyone thinking we occupy this room or that room, that room. I wish therefore to sell this temple and the marble and print some book. Yeah. So I took up this from his mom, that he is very fond of books. And he told me personally that if you get some money, print books. Therefore I am stressing on this point. Where is book, where is book, where is book? So kindly help me. This is my request. Print as many books in as many languages and distribute throughout the whole world. Then Krishna consciousness movement will automatically increase.
I think that speaks for itself, right? I mean, we saw now how much effort Srila Prabhupada put in this whole book, books, in his books, and writing these books, and how he actually asks us to help him with distributing. So, upcoming Thursday, we will go on Harinam again. We start from Amsterdam Central Station. Thursday, yes. Thursday. Yes. From 6 in the evening till 8. So we will have Harinam, but also book distribution. It will be like a kind of kick-off of this distributing month, the Prabhupada month. And then Saturday also, but on earlier, from 1 o'clock, also from Amsterdam Central Station, we will go. Do Harinam, distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. Because Srila Prabhupada said, this is the day pleases him the most. We just have to follow the instruction of the Guru, and Srila Prabhupada's instruction was to distribute his books. So that. Thank you so much. Mataji, it's time for the Aarti. Okay. Excellent. We will continue with the Aarti now. So if you please put your kashits away. Stand up.
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama,
ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Prem Se Kaur Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Asari Gaura Bhaktavinda ki Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Vrindavan Mathura Dham ki Dwarka Dham Maya Kudam ki Jagannath Puri Dham ki Ganga Mai Jamuna Mai ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi ki Samaveta Bhaktavinda ki Nitai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glories to Samvati devotees. All glories to Samvati devotees. All glories to Samvati devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Karamila. All glories to Prabhupada. Sing the Shiga prayers. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming to the Sunday feast. When you all came in today, downstairs, there must be something you have noticed. What is it? What was so different downstairs today?
Chairs.
Yes. So earlier this week I had a meeting because this building is a rental building, and downstairs the rooms are rented by other users, not at the temple. Next to that, we do not pay for cleaning the downstairs toilets or the hall anyway. So I had a meeting this week with the other users and the gemeente, the municipality from which we rent this building. And they came with some complaints that our visitors sometimes uses the toilet downstairs and leave it very dirty. On Monday it's always dirty. They say, I never checked, but they say it like that. Also like things like door downstairs is not locked, it's open, which gives the other users a very unsafe feeling. So that's why I barricaded everything today to make clear that it is not allowed to go into the general areas of this building and not to keep the lock of the door open. So I went to check a few minutes ago, and what did I see? The door is open and the toilet door is also open. So I really would like to ask you not to do that anymore, because it will give really difficulties to us. We have January, in January I promised them really that we would take responsibility for this, that we would manage this, and they keep us accountable for this too. And mid-January we will have a meeting again, and they will see whether our measures have worked. And I don't have any story if we couldn't manage it anymore. So please again, do not use the general areas there. Do not use the toilets over there. If you have a toilet upstairs, you can use that. Thank you so much for understanding. So, as you might know, our Shiksha Guru, Mahatma Prabhu, he had some health issues with his heart. And there is some latest news from yesterday, which I would like to read. Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada. His Grace Mahatma Das was released from the hospital yesterday. He no longer requires intravenous antibiotics, which have been replaced with an oral antibiotic. Doctors have confirmed that hematomas dissolve on their own, and his body will naturally heal over time. Efforts will also be made to strengthen his body to support the healing process. It is expected that this issue will resolve within approximately 4 weeks, with gradual improvements in how he feels as time progresses. Your continued prayers, kirtans, and pujas are greatly appreciated as His Grace Mahatma Das transitions into this next stage of recovery. Your servant Radha Priya Devi Dasi. So let's pray for the recovering of His Grace Mahatma Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then also we have a message about Dietrich Ahlers. His father has been diagnosed with cancer. It's very sad news. So we'll pray for his father also. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. May Lord Krishna have mercy on them and heal them as soon as possible. So today's lecture, everyone was asking me whether I was doing it, but I just gave an introduction to Srila Prabhupada, who really gave a powerful statements about book distribution. Like I said, the December Prabhupada Marathon month is coming. We have a lot of books now, that all have to be distributed on the streets. So we will kick off this Thursday from 6 in the evening, starting from Amsterdam Central Station with the Harinam. And also Saturday from 1 o'clock in the afternoon, also from Central Station. So if you have never done book distribution, this might be an occasion, because we are doing it together. I can imagine that doing it alone can be a little bit scary, but together we strengthen each other. So please come, and if not, you can also come just for the Harinam. The cook of today was Bhaktin Amrita. Please give her a big Harinam. The flowers, who were the flowers done? I don't know. Aranda Radhika Mata, do you know who did the flowers today?
No way.
Okay. Anyway, whoever did it, Harinam! Okay, that concludes our program. Those who are for the first time over here, can you please raise your hands? So we give a small gift of appreciation to our first time guests. So please raise your hands again. It's a nice book. So Srila Prabhupada was talking about Srimad Bhagavatam. This is not the Bhagavatam itself, it's just one chapter. But, or maybe you are new, right? You started Canto chapter 1, it's maybe best. Who else more?
Prabhu.
Yes, sir. Anyone else?
That's you. This one.
Okay. Did I forget anyone? Okay. So thank you so much for coming. Come more often if you want to keep up to date with our programs. We have a WhatsApp group, you can subscribe to that. Just come to me, or Srini Prabhu, or Suraj Prabhu, or Madhuri Bhakti Mataji, so we can subscribe you. If you would like to consider a small or big donation, because it's temple runs on donations, it's very welcome. And Madhuri Bhakti Mataji can help you there also with. Every Tuesday we have program from 5 till 7. So we started reading from the book Chasing Rhinos with the Swami from His Grace Shyam Sundar Prabhu, one of the earlier devotees of Srila Prabhupada. And we are almost at the end of the first volume, and it's really powerful to read the book. So please join. I mean, if you cannot come over here, we have also a WhatsApp group. You can join that and listen online. After that, we have the Aarti, and we conclude the evening with the dinner club, which has become very famous now because you might know Jayashree Mataji is cooking mostly, and her cooking is very much respected. So if you want to join this dinner club, you have to register. So I have a group for that. We can help you with that afterwards. So just come to me, then I will add you to that app group. And otherwise, we have again our Sunday feast next week. Thank you so much. There we go. Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll continue now with the last part, the best part, eating prasadam. So please make roast the Prabhus with